Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I will give it a few minutes before I get started. Happy Tax Tip Tuesday. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So happy to be here again. Consistency is key. So come on in, come on in, come on in. Let's see if this makes it better. Actually, it does not. Turn that back on. What about this? That might have did something too. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I will get started in one moment. Let some people jump on in here with me. Hello, hello, hello. Introduce yourself when you come in, and I'll get started in 20 seconds. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Tax Tip Tuesday. Come on in. Today's conversation is going to expand on the 10 deductions that small business owners often forget. Today, I'm going to actually dive into the home office deduction in detail. So each week, I mentioned the 10 deductions last Tax Tip Tuesday. So on, what was that? July, let's see if I can see. July 22nd or something like that. Last week, Tuesday. I mentioned 10 different deductions that small business owners forget about during tax season. So over the next 10 weeks, I will dive into each one of them individually and expand on them quite a bit. Okay. So let me introduce myself. I am Tracy L. Tate. I am the CEO of TLJ Professional Services, where we are about all things financial. I bring to you over almost 40 years experience in bookkeeping and accounting, as well as tax preparation. I have a master's in business, a master's in accounting, as well as a master's in public administration. That is why you should listen to me. Now, today's topic is going to expand on the home office deduction because people often forget about that. So I want to make sure you don't, right? I am also cordially inviting you to my in-person event. It's for women only. Intensify Her. I have trademarked that saying as well. Intensify Her. It's a business intensive. It's a workshop to get your financial house in order. We'll have some games, some raffles, some presentations, a panel. If you do VIP upgrades, so we're doing VIP tickets right now, you could get an additional $50 off if you get it before Saturday, August. Look, I took us all the way back to April. August 5th, you get an additional $50 off the VIP ticket. So I'm dropping that in the link. This is an in-person event. So be mindful of that if you are in another state. We are in the San Francisco Bay Area. So today is going to be the home office deduction discussion, okay? So people often think that they can write off all of their rent or 100% of their rent, 100% of their utilities, 100% of everything as a business write-off on their Schedule C. You cannot, okay? So if you live in that home, you cannot write off 100% of rent because you live there, or of the utilities because you live there, other than work. So the only time that you can write off 100% of rent or mortgage or utilities is if you have an individual location, like a brick and mortar location, or if you're renting an office space, things like that. You cannot write off 100% of expenses of your home that you live in. Okay, so let's be 100% clear about that. You can write off a percentage, so square feet of a particular space that you use for business, or if you're a child care, there's additional deductions or additional ways that we can calculate. So I'll go into that a little bit separately. Okay, but for home office deduction, if you're filling out a Schedule C, there's a question that asks right after depreciation if you use your business, your home office, right, or use your home for business. If you can answer yes to that, then you want to determine how much of that you can write off. Okay, so good example is you need to know how many square feet your unit is. A lot of times you can Google it, okay? Whether it's your home or apartment, a lot of them will tell you your lease, will tell you the square footage of your unit that you're in. Then you base it on square feet. So this is how I kind of determine what square feet looks like. If the space that you use is like a bathroom size, that's only about 150 to 200 square feet only. Okay. It's not a large space. It's not small either, like 50 square feet, right? If you're renting a place, or you live in a space that is over 100 or over 1,000 square feet, more than likely you're using 100 to 200 square feet of space. So a bathroom size is literally around 150 square feet if the space that you have your work area in is that size. Now, if you've dedicated like a child size bedroom to the space, that's about 300 or more square feet, depending on your full home square footage, right? So bedroom sizes vary based on the size of your home. Okay. Now, you can, especially if you meet clients at your home and so forth, you can include other spaces like your bathroom, okay, like closets or part of your garage if you store items there. So your square feet can extend past just the immediate area that you sit in or conduct work, right? If you store other items and things like that in other parts of the home, okay? So keep that in mind that you are able to include those square feet in your percentage of square feet. So how you calculate that, as an example, I'm doing simple math here. If your home total square feet is 1,000, and I mentioned like a child size bedroom, um, let's say it's 250 square feet, then that's 25% of the square footage. What that means is that 25% of your rent you can write off, 25% of your utilities you can write off, 25% of your water, your garbage, right? Your PG&E, any maintenance, any landscaping, all of those things you get to include in your write-off. Now, certain industries include more. So let's say that you're a bakery, you use part of your kitchen, right? So you would include that square feet. I just mentioned if you entertain people in your home from a standpoint of you meet clients in your home. So like I meet clients in my home. Um, so I include my entire downstairs because I have a living room area for sitting. I have a bathroom down here that they use, right? And then I have my dedicated office space. So 100% of my dedicated office space. And then those other spaces actually include in the square feet when I do business use of home. Okay. So that's how you calculate how much you can write off. Unless you're spending 100% on a location, you cannot write off 100% of the bills. Okay, so that's how you look at that. Other things that you can include. So you could include your rent or your mortgage, right? Your mortgage insurance premium, is other expense. Like I mentioned, landscaping, any utilities, property taxes. People forget about their property taxes because if you impound your property taxes, it's part of your mortgage payment. So you don't even think about it, right? And a lot of times, your property, um, the government entity that handles your property taxes may not send you a bill if they're impounded. right? Because I never see a bill because mine is included in my mortgage, right? Um, but it is based on the percentage of your home. Now, if you're child care, it can actually be based on the amount of time that you use caring for children. It's not based on the square feet. So even if you use a certain portion or a smaller portion of your home, then you might want to use the amount of time that you babysit, especially if you babysit full time, right? Or like 10 hours a day, certain days of the week, you're offering. It depends on. So it's kind of like in a stance of standard deduction versus itemized deduction. You want to take whichever one is higher, that's going to reduce your taxable income. That's the same way you want to look at it with your business use of home. Okay. One of the main things that I see people make as a mistake is that they actually deduct 100% of their mortgage or their rent or their utilities, which is not possible if you live in the space. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, if you rent a space, so it's not based on, oh, do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a home? It's not based on that at all. So if you rent a home and 100% of that space is being used for business, then guess what? You write off 100% of those expenses. It doesn't matter that it's a house. It is determined on, do you live there? Do you sleep there? Is that area that you're claiming as business use used for something other than business as well? That's where you have to do a percentage of use. Okay. So people get caught up with that. That is something that you will not pass an audit on. So when I do tax prep, for example, I always look at things from a audit standpoint. Will this cause a red flag? Does this make sense? Right? Because I don't want to deal with the IRS, and I sure don't want my clients dealing with the IRS. Okay. Because it's not a case of you're innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. Okay. So you want to be mindful of your deductions because it has to make sense and it should be consistent. Okay. So be very, very mindful of business use of home. Some other things that you might not realize that you can include is like your landscaping. So again, if you entertain people at your home, right, or you meet clients at your home, your landscaping matter. Where they drive up to matters, right? So that includes like if you power wash your house, like I have my rental property power wash like once a year and stuff like that. All of that is considered maintenance and you could write that off. Okay. Now, some people think that because they may have a location outside of their home or the work that they do, like drivers, self-employed drivers and stuff like that, that they don't actually have business use of home. You actually do. If you maintain paperwork at home, then you actually can use business use of home. Okay. If you store items or materials or products or files, like in my case, right, in your home, you can use business use of home. So just because you may not work directly in the home, like you go out and service your clients or whatever, you do have business use of home as um, as a business owner because you're still doing your paperwork, whether it's invoicing, whether it's paying your business bills, right? Um, Storing your items, whatever it may be, you still have business use of home deductibility, although you're not working directly in the home. So I also see that deduction overlooked from people that actually service people outside of the home, but they do manage their paperwork and so forth in the home. So they do get to use business use of home deduction. So I've covered quite a bit in these last 15 minutes. So I'll just do a quick recap. Today's Tax Tip Tuesday is about home office deduction. If you're watching this on replay, type replay. Okay. Tell us where you are from, who you are. If you're feel free to promote your business under this live because small businesses matter. Okay. And tag your business besties, right? They need to know this information as well. So type replay and tag other people that need to see this post. Okay. So business home deductions, just real high level recap, because otherwise you can go back and replay this, okay, and type replay. If you operate your business from your home, you cannot deduct, hey, lady, I miss you, Miss Sherry. I'm coming to see you real soon, honey. I have to. Hello. Um, Matter of fact, I meant to include you on the email I just sent. In the chat, I put the access to our intensive, in-person intensive in the chat. I'm going to do it again. Please get your early bird VIP registration. Okay, this is going to be a cannot miss event. Okay, so get your VIP tickets now. You don't want just the regular experience. You definitely want the VIP experience, because I go all out when I do events, and it will be one to remember and top. Okay, so please join us. If you are a woman business owner, join us for the Women Intensive Intensify Her event. Okay, it's happening on September 30th. So recap real quick. Home office deductions. If you live in the space that you're actually conducting work, you cannot deduct 100% of your expenses, rent, utilities, etc. Now, most businesses, like for Zoom and you have to have internet. So you can deduct 100% of internet, because you otherwise don't need it, right? Except for business. So you're able to deduct 100% of internet, and possibly even phone. So like with me, I only have a phone for my fax machine, my business fax machine. I don't use my house phone. Everybody uses a cell phone. I do too, right? So things like that may be 100%. On your forms, on the business use of home form, there is a space that says direct and indirect. Indirect is the cost that you share, rent, utilities, that's not directly an expense. So you may have something in indirect as well as direct, because internet may be direct, but PG&E is not if you live in that home, right? Water, garbage, PG&E, all of that is not 100%, except for possibly internet or phone. So be mindful of that. It's not 100% deductible. It is a percentage of the square feet that you use for home. So I gave examples before. If your space that you use for your office or do work in your business is about the size of a bathroom, the square footage of a bathroom, that's about 150 square feet, depending on how big your unit is. If your unit is only 500 square feet, no way that it is 150 square feet, period. Okay, that would say half your house is, or half of your unit is used for business. It doesn't make sense. It is a flag. Don't do that, right? So depending on the real square feet of your home would really determine the size of everything else in your home, right? So 1,000 square feet, as an example, a bathroom size is easily 150 to 200 square feet. A bedroom is easily 300 square feet, okay? So you could get a tape measure if you like. If you're not sure of your square feet of your home, look at your rental agreement, or if you own your home, then Google it, okay? Because they tell you based on your address, okay? So based on the square feet of the whole unit, and for like places like childcare, they may use their backyard, include the land square feet as well. So it's the square feet of everything when it comes to childcare, or it's the hours of operation, whichever is going to give you the better deduction. Okay, that's how you want to determine that. But things that you could write off includes rent, mortgage interest, right? Mortgage interest or mortgage insurance, which is if you didn't put down 20% deposit on the purchase of your home, then you have mortgage insurance. That's part of the deduction as well. Homeowner insurance or renter's insurance, right? So insurance you can deduct. Property taxes, water, garbage, PG&E, right? A percentage. Internet could be 100% if it makes sense for your business. Now, 100% of internet may not make sense if you are in, like if your business is computer repair, right? And actually it would be. So let me rephrase, back that up too, because the only way you're going to repair a computer is if you have internet access. So in that case, it is 100%. So in most cases, I would say, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head where you would not use the internet 100% for business. So internet may be 100%, but other things will be based on the percentage of use. So in the example of 100,000, if you're using 200 square feet, 250 square feet of 1,000, that's a quarter. Excuse me. A quarter is 25%. So it'll be 25% of those expenses. One moment. Okay. So that's my cue to go. Okay. But I hope you have enjoyed this Tax Tip Tuesday. I will be back next week for Tax Tip Tuesday. And next week, I'll be talking about specifically startup expenses. So join me next week as well. I am Tracy L. Tate. I am the CEO of TLJ Professional Services, where we are about all things financial. And this has been Tax Tip Tuesday, the home office deductions for your business. You guys have a prosperous week and get your VIP tickets to the Intensify Her in-person business intensive. It's about building wealth and getting your business financial house in order. Okay. Get your tickets. Have a blessed week. Bye.